We're delighted to welcome with us Soccerex Amsterdam, Jonathan Jones from Meyba. Now, Jonathan, Meyba is a brand that some of us may know possibly from the past, and certainly people of a certain age. But just explain to me the history, because I believe it goes back, back to the 1940s originally.
It does, yeah. So Meyba is a Spanish brand that was formed on the beaches of Barcelona I think in 1945 as a swimwear brand. Made swimwear. If you are Spanish and your mum says, "Don't forget your swimming shorts," she doesn't say that. She says, "Don't forget your Meybas." So it's a really household name in Spain, especially in Catalonia. But then in 1980, the two owners of the brand walked into FC Barcelona. I said, "Can we make your football kits?" They then signed a 10-year deal there and were Barcelona's first ever branded kit supplier. Only ever been three, from 82 to 92. And around that, we had 15 or 20 teams in Spain in the 80s and 90s.
So fast forward to the present day, and perhaps fill in the gaps on the way as well, because obviously, there's a kind of a brand that's just associated with, one of the iconic teams, and now you're there with Meyba as well. What happened? Because obviously, I understand there was a connection, and we've got Cruyff here with us. There was a connection with Cruyff, with Barcelona and the Meyba brand.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the late 90s, when a Spanish brand that made all its product in Spain was struggling when the bigger sort of American and German brands came in. Actually, Johan Cruyff brought the brand with his best friend, a guy called Ferenc. They took that brand, they took the Meyba brand because they loved it, and they put it in a freezer, locked it away completely. Obviously, sadly, Johan passed. Ferenc took ownership of the Cruyff brand and had this Meyba brand. We met Ferenc a few years ago. He liked our idea, liked our philosophy around football, offered us a 10-year license to run Meyba globally. And we're now in a position where we're bringing the brand back. We are only a football brand. It's the only sport we do. We don't do tennis. We don't do cricket. No other sports. We're purely football. And for us, it's an amazing heritage brand to have, to be able to use images of Maradona or Guardiola or Cruyff to really to show our love for football. But we're now, as I say, we're bringing the brand back in a number of different ways: football, music, and fashion. And we show our creativity, our love for the game, and our vast knowledge of football and what it means to people. And we put that love into our kits. We've been running the brand for just over 2 years now. We've now got 9 professional teams, including teams in the States, in Spain, in Ibiza, in the UK. And we've signed our first ever international team, which is Guyana.
So you say you've got that football, football background, and now you're using that moving forward into the future. You've got international teams, you've got different leagues. You're sitting there in front of me, and this is where we're going to come to with what looks to all the world like a fantastic football kit, but it's got the Beatles on it, and it's got the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. Now, some explaining to do. Explain what that is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we took the brand on, it was really important for us to expose the brand to people who were unsure about who Meyba were, who didn't know Meyba were at all. And we looked at the market, and we looked at the proliferation of merchandise throughout music, in all different forms of music. And we set ourselves on a mission to not transform the music merchandise industry, but to offer a new product which has never been made before. There's always been a really massive crossover between football, music, and fashion. So we decided to make collaboration football shirts for music festivals, DJs, artists, bands. And we were lucky enough to approach Apple, who own all of the Beatles back catalogue, owned by the 4 members of the Beatles families, or still the 2 surviving members. We were managed to strike a deal to produce 3 ranges. The first one we did was Abbey Road, which is very black and white because of the zebra crossing, obviously. The second collection was around Sgt. Pepper, which did really well. They're all limited edition. And the third one, which comes out in September, is Yellow Submarine, which is nuts. If you've ever seen the film, ever seen any of the iconography, it's a dream to be able to work with that, with their back catalogue of images and film and video, and it's a way we can express our love for design, our love for football shirts. And you've only need to look at the rise of classic football shirts, or go to any concert or any bar, or even big fashion houses. Balenciaga make football shirts now. We're doing it with a genuine heritage and a genuine love for what we do, and we're able to pair football, music, and fashion together to hopefully deliver some amazing product around our first love, which is working with football teams.
Sadly, as much as you may not believe it, I am just about old enough to remember Yellow Submarine. That's partly with me. And obviously, this is fantastic, and this collaboration here, it shows the sky's the limits. I mean, what would you be? I mean, what are you thinking without giving us trade secrets? Football is obviously key, and it's fascinating that everyone here at Soccerex is obviously driven by football, by soccer. But what other markets, other than even music, are you guys looking at now as well for Meyba?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously football is our number one. It's work with football teams, get great teams around the world, produce amazing kits, deliver on our promises. But outside of that, we love creativity. We've got lots of things in the pipeline, lots of different collaborations, whether it's with iconic fashion brands, or whether it's with music artists, or whether it's with we've done a deal which I'm happy to announce with Moritz, which is Barcelona's oldest beer brand. We're obviously synonymous with Barcelona, so we've made them a collaboration shirt for their 150th anniversary. We just need to be genuine in our collaborations. We need to work with brands that also have an association with football. We wouldn't want to work with a toothpaste brand, or whatever we do must be genuine. It must be heartfelt. It must be passionate. And the success we've had over the last couple of years is based on that. It's based on loving what we do. And I think that working with Moritz and some of our other music artists, and it could be film, it could be TV, it could be cars, as long as there's a design aesthetic, as long as there's a genuine love for football, we're excited to work with lots of different people.
Jonathan, that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much for giving us a little insight into Meyba and what's happening. And hopefully in 2 decades' time exactly, you might have an amazing press release coming out about our projects. And then we can say now that 20 years ago today came the Meybas thing. I know, we'll try that. Jonathan, thank you very much. Thanks for coming to Soccerex Amsterdam. Love your time here. Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.